Hi, everybody. Hello. Sharon and Linda. Marie, Tribal Woman. Hi, Mystery. 2535. Vicky. Just 1 second, please. Okay, hello. I'm back. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Rolanda and Judy and Sylvia and Cardamom C. Paulette, hello. Linda Bishop, Engla, Judy, Sharon. Hey, Mary Lou. Deborah, Margaret, Magnolia. Let's see here. Deborah Kale. If I can get some, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, you guys, please. That really helps. So let me see here. Hi, Mary Lou, Ingla, Tris, hello. Pam. I see Karen, Deborah Smith. Just give, I hope I'm not interrupting anybody else's live stream because I just came on here first chance I got and I didn't even check to see if anybody else was live. Hi, Memo. Hi, 2535. And I know it's late. It's like, well, it's only 7:40 over here, but it's probably like 11 somewhere else. Let me see. Oh, you guys. So I went to my garden and I picked this whole thing. This is all buttercups, the Ranunculus. This entire thing. I just clipped these today. Look at, it's so precious. So these ones here, the pink and white. Let me see if I can pluck it out. These ones here, this one has pink and white, so you can see the white on the bottom. When it opens up a bit more, you can see it. But I picked all these, and there's all kinds of different sizes. There's little baby ones like this, and there's some like semi-baby ones like this. Like this one looks like a huge little pom-pom. The camera is darkening the color. It's really not that dark. They're not red. They're like a fuchsia pink almost. See, there's another little. No, they don't have any thorns, Joanne. They're buttercups, ranunculus. There's like a little tiny little baby one that got smashed, but he's in there. So they're just over the place. So I got some light pinks like this one, some fuchsia pinks, and then the other ones that are white and pink right here. But yeah, the ranunculus, the corms that we planted that you guys helped me with, those are blooming like crazy. So I know at the flower fields when they do these, they were telling me that they plant the corms in the fall, which is what I did when you guys helped me out on that live stream, and that they'll bloom in the spring. Well, we've had a very warm year this year, so I think they might be blooming ahead of time. So I hope that they don't stop blooming before the end of May. Because I know at the Carlsbad flower fields, they go from March all the way through the end of May. But like, let's see if I can get this one out. Yeah. This one got smashed in there. Let's see. Isn't that precious? Yeah, it got smashed, so it's like losing some petals. Because I have so many. And then there's like still a bunch of them out there in the garden. But and what else did I throw in there? I just threw some snapdragon seeds down a few weeks ago. Those are coming up. They haven't bloomed yet. They're about yay tall. And I threw some zinnias in there as well. But I think it's still a little bit too cold for them, even though we've been in like the 70s during the day, but then it dips down to like the 40s at night. So I think it might still be a bit too cold, but that's okay because zinnias they just like to grow. So I should have those starting to sprout hopefully soon. So I'm happy with the little ranunculus. Those have been doing very well. And I was telling Peanut, I think I want to get some different colors for next year. Because when I was at the flower fields, the peach ones are the ones that I really, really liked. They were so pretty. So, but because there's just so many people that go through there for the Carlsbad flower fields that it's like the Armstrong Gardens is just swamped with people. So I may have to look online to see if I can order some peach colored ones for next year. Well, yeah, I would have to plant them in the fall. So we'll see. So let's see here. So how's everybody doing? Happy Friday to all. Planted a lemon seed in September and it's about 3 inches and 4 leaves. Cool. That's so cool. So I'm a bit tired today, so I don't know how my brain power is going to do. So apologies in advance. So hey, Sterling. Your apricots went into flower. Oh, that sounds so yummy. I love apricots. All the citrus we have lemon, lime, and oranges, and we've been plucking quite a few oranges out, and they're pretty tasty. I wanted to get a pomegranate tree. And Peanut's like, no, but I'm gonna talk him into it because I love pomegranate. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, they shuffle pretty good, Paulette. These are the new ones that Johnny got me for Christmas. These ones from Tarocco Studios. It took a while to get here because of they were coming in from Russia. So well, can you grow something in a sunny window, Joanne? Something that, you know, can be in a sunny window, like in a pot, maybe, and then once it warms up, move it outside, transplant it outside. Maybe. So let me see here. Where is he? He's right here. So I guess today, hey, Joanne, thank you so much. Joanne, did you see the flowers that I was showing that I just picked from the garden this morning? I don't know if you were here when I did that. And I'm drinking the chai, Joanne. It's so delicious. Oh, you just got here. Well, let me show you. Hold on, I'm putting in the name here. Let me just show you. I just clipped these from the garden, and Peanut and I were going to be going back to the Carlsbad flower field. We try to go every year, minus the year of the pandemic, because, you know, the pandemic kind of screwed everything up. But look at that, Joanne. I just plucked all these from the garden today. And there's a lot more outside. So, and they last, I've noticed that they last pretty good in a vase. I've been getting them, you know, I change the water about every day or so. And they've been lasting about a week. So I just wish I had more different colors, because these are all different variations of pink. Like there's light pink, there's dark pink, and then there's this one I was showing earlier. These are Ranunculus, Joanne. Remember, you guys helped me plant them in the fall, the corms? The little corms, they look like, they're not seeds and they're not bulbs. They look like They're about that big. And it looks like a big cluster with like it just looks like a bug, like a nasty, nasty bug. And you soak them in water for I soaked mine for about 3 hours to plump them up really nice and fat. And then I stuck them in the ground. But see, like this one is white and pink. It hasn't completely opened, but they're precious. They're absolutely precious. And I was telling the folk in the chat that I'm going to try to see if I can maybe get some, because I found some packets of Ranunculus corms at the dollar store of all places. And it said variety pack. So I picked up 3 because there was only like 3 corms in each. Well, all the buttercups that have come out are pink. So I'm like, okay, maybe it wasn't a variety pack. I'm not complaining though. I'm getting flowers, so I'm not complaining. But I was telling the folk in the chat, Joanne, that I think I'm going to try to order some peach colored ones. Because those were my favorites from the flower field. The peach, it's like a really light peachy salmony sort of color, very pastel but vibrant, and I adored them. So let me stick this one over here. There we go. So yeah, I got this whole thing, and then I got like a whole bunch more outside. So it's been quite prolific, and I'm so happy because I'm just getting fresh ranunculus all the time now. An avocado tree. Hey, sunflower. An avocado tree. One of my coworkers lives about a few blocks away from me, and they have an avocado tree, and they had it for like 8 years, and it still didn't fruit. So I'm like, dear God, how long does it take for those things to fruit? Because I'm sure that they would do great here in our climate, in our zone. But man, if I had to plant something like that and wait years and years and years and years and years. But I mean, maybe we should, because avocados are expensive. They're like $5 per. That's kind of pricey. Hey, Johnny, is Johnny here? Did I miss him? Did I miss Johnny? Oh, you know what, Johnny? No, I'm not, because, okay, I don't know if Sylvia Hanks is here, but the dahlia that you guys also helped me plant the bulbs, I got this massive, because I did the dinner plate dahlias, and it was like about this big. The flower itself was about this big, dinner plate size. And it was beautiful, beautiful. So I clipped it and I put it in the drying stuff, silica. And I left it in there for too long because it came out horrible, horrible, horrible. It was burnt. The color did not preserve. The flower was smashed, because what I wanted to do was clip it, preserve it, and then put it in a picture frame, like a shadow box picture frame, and send it to someone here on YouTube, to Sylvia, for Christmas. I ruined it. So I'm going to have to give it a go again next year, because I saved my bulbs, because they multiplied like crazy. So I saved a bunch of bulbs. So I'll try it again next year, because I left it in there for 3 days. Maybe I should just do one. But I figured 3 days because the bloom itself was about this large. It was a good, I can't get to my tape measure, but it was this large. So I just, the whole preservation and drying of them in silica, I didn't realize would take some finessing. So I screwed that up. But these, I don't think I'm going to do, Johnny, because the petals on them are just so delicate. I don't know if it comes off on camera, and I would hate to. Okay. one of them fell out because there are so many, they're all smashed in here. But here's a petal. And the petals are so, it's almost transparent. I don't know if my camera's picking that up, but they're so fine. It's almost transparent. Like I'm looking at it and I can almost see through this. So I don't think I would be terrified to try to preserve these. I mean, I could try maybe, but I'll find a sacrificial one maybe. But they make me smile. They look like little pom-poms, you know, just the shape of them like that, you know, and these are a little bit more crinkly. I think the camera's picking it up there, and it's coming off on my computer. It looks red. It's not. It's like a fuchsia. Well, not even fuchsia, just a really dark pink. But this one's all crinkly, whereas the way that this one bloomed, it almost looks like a rose, but it's not, because the petals they're more fluffy, if that makes any sense at all. See, this one's like losing petals. Here's another one that is kind of, this one's like crinkly / pom-pom-ish. You can see that. Let's see, where's another one? Like this one here. See, it just looks like one ginormous pom-pom. Hey, CG! And I do want to get bulbs for the dahlias that kind of look like this, but they look like little pom-poms. I want to get bulbs for those too. But I don't think that they sell the bulbs until, well, in my zone, I'm supposed to plant them in the fall. What's the name of these, Johnny? These are Ranunculus or buttercups. This is what those little flowers, those are what they grow out at the Carlsbad flower fields, in those fields where it's just rows and rows and rows and rows of all those different colored flowers. It's these. It's these that they grow. So, yep. So everybody's doing okay. They are, Joanne. They are. They just make me smile. And there's a whole bunch of buds outside too, where I'm just like, I keep clipping them because the more you clip, the more it grows, you know? So I just keep clipping and clipping and clipping. So, hey, can you guys give me 1 second? I'm going to go brew some tea really quick. And tonight's Grand Tableau, I just decided, and I'm sorry, it is not on the title of the video, because like I said, I'm like brain dead today. I guess we're going to do Junior. So I did see on the news that you're stuffing your face, Johnny, with what? Did you cook something? Did you make something in the air fryer? I saw in the news today that Trump's lawyers were in court trying to delay having to go and speak to Letitia James, and the judge smacked him down. Basically, I think the judge called them Humpty barbecued pork. Dude, Johnny, if you want, I can send you the recipe that we used on the air fryer for the ribs, and it was divine. So I think the judge called him a Humpty Dumpty and compared them to Orwell, 1984, the author of 1984, George Orwell, and then said something about You made it in the foodie, the barbecued pork. How did it turn out, Johnny? So I guess the judge is compelling them. It came out perfect. Fantastic. Fantastic. I'm going to have to try barbecued pork because the last thing we did in there um, was the ribs, and it was nice and crunchy on the outside where the sauce sticks to the meat, but it kind of makes it crunchy a little bit, but it's still saucy, and then all nice and soft and juicy on the. It was divine. That Ninja foodie, I'm telling you, best kitchen appliance ever for me, in my opinion, hands down, because I am a lazy ass cook. Lazy ass cook. So anyways, I saw that, and so now I guess they're compelled to go speak. They have 21 days to sit down for the deposition, but everybody is anticipating them to try to appeal it at the New York Supreme Court. Because he's a one-trick pony. That's all they do. You don't need to read cards or anything to know that that's what he does. Like just delay, 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 delay. So yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna go brew. Steep some tea, some chai. Ah, just whacked myself. And I shall be, oh no. And I shall be right back, you guys. Please give me a couple minutes. I should have done that, but I wasn't expecting to drink it so fast. I'll be right back. I'm back, you guys. Sorry about that. I have my tea. Got my tea. Has anybody been watching the Boba Fett on Disney Plus? Hey, CG. CG, have you been watching Boba Fett on Disney? Sunflower says no. I just saw the cutest episode the other day because, hi, Wendy. Mando and Baby Yoda got reunited. Oh my gosh. So freaking adorable. So adorable. I kept telling Peanut, I was like, rewind it. We watched it like a couple of scenes with Baby Yoda and Mando. I swear I made him play it over and over again like 5 times. It was the cutest thing in the world. The cutest. So, let me see here. You know what I just noticed? Because you guys know that these are pretty, this is Ivanka's Grand Tableau. I just noticed this today. And it's probably coming up backwards on the computer. Ivanka sits here. And I was saying business in China, right? I looked at woman. I went up her line. And I caught this. Woman, child, fish, dog. And ship is also transfer. I think that she transferred a bunch of her extras that she made to a trust for her child or children, because birds is right here, and hid it there because ship sits on book. So it goes child to woman, or I'm sorry, woman to child, child to fish in the house of bouquet, which is gifts of money, and then dog to ring, trust, and then a link. So like some sort of a trust fund for her kids where they've been funneling stuff over there. With these, and I just noticed that the other day, of course, after I went live. Your son does a Star Wars Christmas tree? Oh, I should see if I can get some Baby Yoda and Mando ornaments, because I was at Target the other day and they have all their Easter stuff. You know what they have, Joanne, that I saw? Those little plastic Easter eggs that are already stuffed with candy inside, but they were Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. And I almost bought them just for the eggs. And I was like, girl, what are you going to do with those? Really? Past Easter? It's not like I have kids to go hide stuff, for a kid to go, and even Moose just wouldn't care. He wouldn't even be down for that. If I took the candy out and stuffed it with treats, like he wouldn't even care. And then here too, woman to Clover in the house of ship, to book, to bear. And it shows here too. The winds in commerce, hiding, obscured, not transparent. And then there's the financing here. I wonder if that shows up in Spankies as well. Hallmark always sells Star Wars ornaments. I'm going to have to look at that, Johnny, because I really want a Baby Yoda. Let me see. Where's book? Okay, there's bouquet. Where's book and his? Down here. And then his line of fate, not only the collectors coming to get their money, but also finances that were delivered in secret, or finances that he's keeping secret from coming out because the family is suffering and properties are suffering. and it's fraudulent. But I think we went over that for the properties. Yeah, because that's the line. It goes house to cross to fox and then goes back to house. So the family and the properties are suffering from fraud. There's something really suspicious and shady going on there. Investigations, fraud, but the properties are suffering and properties are sacrificed. Now, where is Fish in his? Let me see here. Tower. Where is Tower? Over here. Right there, selling. Tower is institutions, corporations, government, bureaucracy, but it's also in regards to large buildings, very large buildings. So not like your house or a residence, very large buildings. So an establishment where there would be like hotels, condos, and right next to it is Fish. The sale of large buildings. Now, this is also government, and I think we went down this line as well. They're going to just, and I think ring or whip sits on house ring. And this is government as well. Okay, so large buildings are being sold this way, and this way it's saying that he's having trouble and something is taken away, disputed in government, and there's a problem with the contract or an agreement. We went over that the day before yesterday, I think, because the agreement itself over here, ring and house clouds, is bad. Well, I think that the news is coming out now. One of the senators or somebody in one of the House oversight committees or something, I forget, is trying to get GSA to break the agreement that they have with Trump Towers or the Trump Hotel in DC, because he leases that to the government. And because of what Mazars came out with just the other day that says do not, like, those financial statements are not reliable. Well, since the government entered into a fraudulent agreement, they can get out of it. So here it shows, remember, I think we went over this, that there's problems and then something is taken away. And then there's the government fighting, and they're fighting over a contract, whip and house ring for this large building. The sale of it, this is the sale. Okay, where's ring? Ring is up here. Where's scythe? Scythe is down here. The agreement itself is going to be burdened because it was a lie here. So it looks like the government's the GSA or whatever. When it happens, I don't know, because it's got lilies sitting right below it. So it might be a while. Lilies is not something that happens very quickly. It's a while, okay? But it looks like the government's able to pull out of that lease because the agreement is problematic. It's troublesome. Ring in the house of clouds. Where's clouds? Clouds. Up here. And there's fraud in the property. So here it shows that the agreement that is solid splits and it comes to an end. Crossroads in the house of coffin. And then he's got coffin here too, in the house of clover. So it looks like this way, if and when that does come up, they're able to break that lease because of fraud. Fox in the house of house property. And then there's the agreement that's problematic. And then it splits right here with crossroads. And then here the agreement suffers And then there's the lie, several lies. Hey, Rondell. So, and then here it's got, I think we talked about that side, he gets cut off. He gets cut off. So let's go ahead and jump into Don Jr. I've been jibby jabbing for 45 minutes, you guys. I'm so sorry. Weesh. Great way to start, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hold on. Let me break this down, and then I'll use the tiles because I know that that works better. Okay, so we got 10, 27, 35, 18, 19, 8, 30, 24, 14, 33, 1, 26, 12, 9. Bear in its own house, 15, 6. Oof, that's bad. That's bad. Okay. 5, 23, 2, 7, 31, 20, 28, 16, 32, 13, 11, 21, 25, 29, 34, 17, 22, 36, 4, 3. Okay, let me transfer this to the tiles so we can fit it all in here. Did Johnny go back and hide in the bushes again? Is that what he was saying? Oh, thanks for the super chat. I'm sorry I didn't see that. Let me see. Thank you, Joanne Frank, so much. Thanks for bearing with me. I've been quite chatty tonight, even though Johnny got me these CG. I just got them the other day because they came in from Russia. They're just absolutely beautiful. And I like the cardstock too. I mean, they're kind of big, but it has enough give to where it makes shuffling pretty easy. Okay, let me get the tiles. And there we go. Make sure there's nothing in here. Okay. Okay, scythe. Letter. Anchor. Anchor, anchor, anchor. I am blind. I am blind. Anchor. Dog. Tower. Tower, tower, tower. Tower. Coffin. Lily. Heart. Okay, fox. Key. Rider. Book. Birds. Okay. There. Hey, Marby, thank you. And clouds. This is not good. That is no bueno. This is no bueno. Okay, tree. Mice. What are you, rats? Okay, mice. Clover. Snake. Sun. Garden. Man. Stars. Moon. Child. Mountain. Ring. Woman. Fish. Storks. Okay, and then the line of fate's not going to fit in here. So I'll just tell you what it is. It's crossroads, cross, house, and ship. Okie dokie. So right off the bat, this bear is sitting in its own house. I haven't figured out if anything is mirroring each other yet, and I don't feel like spending too much time on that. Let me see. Where's... No. Okay. Based on position where he sits, he's doing okay. He's closer to the edge, which means he's on the precipice of a really big change, but he's got quite a bit on his mind. The only thing he has control over is this, and even that still he loses. So let's see here. To start off his tableau, bear sits in its own house. So this is letting me know that 444 watching. Oh, that's a great number, Joanne. I must agree. This has to do with business, with not business, with finance, power, strength, and the bear. You look to see where his claw is sitting on, which would be the card right below it. He's got a great, and this is also something very large. He's got a lot of shit bearing on his mind financially. So the first three cards here are scythe, letter, and anchor. His attempts, and I say this because Mountain sits on his house. He's, even though it's not talking here, it sits on his house. He's under a significant amount of pressure, and he's also trying to delay. That doesn't work because the results of what he's trying to cut off achieve. They reach their goal. Not Junior, but the mail gets delivered. It reaches its goal. The documents, the mail, the results, the dangerous results achieve their goal. The scythe acts very quickly. It's very swift, and it sits on house rider, which is also, hey, Jenny, how are you? Johnny's lurking in the bushes in the chat somewhere. Scythe is very quick acting. Rider is very quick acting. They're both action cards. So this is saying that it's gonna come, and it's gonna come quick. Whatever they were trying to obstruct, Mountain sits on its house. It gets resolved. It moves. And also, just a funny thing here that I thought I would point out. Mountain is card number 21. It's coming, probably, I don't know if it's coming in backwards, but it's card number 21. Now, this is 21 days, the 21st of the month, or during the winter. Well, I think right now, based on the judge's orders, they have 21 days to speak to Letitia James. Everybody is anticipating that they're going to fight it. And it shows in Venki's Grand Tableau, and it shows here, they're going to fight to obstruct. Oh, this is on Junior, Jenny. But it resolves very quickly, and the woman that's independent, she moves this thing forward. She's the one that wins, not him. Okay? So, whatever they're trying to do is resolved very quickly. The lawyers here lose. They lose. They have no standing. And whatever it is that they're trying to end, because it's going to be extremely problematic and create a lot of chaos financially for this family, moves forward. And it's going to be a while. This is a legal issue that may take a little bit of time. Not the obstruction, because their obstruction here, delaying, fighting to delay, that doesn't work. Because right below mountain sits cross. It doesn't, this creative venture right here, creative solution to the problem here, to fight it, to keep blocking and blocking, resolves successfully. And here, down this column, which sits 2 columns ahead of him, says that he has to go talk. He has to go talk. Right here, these two mirrored, I tend to see as a judge. The judge, what did I say about bear? A bear is very large. And you look at where the claw, where its feet, where his feet are landing on. Well, you can't really tell on this tile, but the feet would be landing on him. So this judge is forcing him. He's being forced to go speak to the courts in front of a large body of people here. A very large body of people here. Okay. Now also back again to this being large buildings, those close. And I think we've seen that in Ivanka's, and let me double check. I think we've seen that in Ivanka's and Trump's. Let me see. It shows in Trump's large buildings closing. Tower, Knights over to coffin. Large buildings closing this way. And I think we discussed that about the government fighting some sort of a contract because the contract suffers and it's a lie. We talked about that. And I think I mentioned also that they're talking about breaking the GSA contract that the government has with Trump International Hotel because of the fraud, you know, with his accounting firm and stuff. In Ivanka's, it shows as well, tower and coffin. And you all saw me shuffle the shit out of them cards. Okay. Large buildings closing, organizations closing. Okay. Does it show here? Yeah. It shows in Trump's as well. That would be like anywhere, like outdoor areas, things like that close. But here it shows very large buildings closed. Anyways, domestic grief right here. Bad domestic grief here. Serious financial problems. Widespread financial problems because they were using gaslighting, covering it up to give them success and bolster, change, improve their finances. That is in big trouble. Garden, Knights over to clouds. If this could be a party, this could be a rally, this could be a campaign as well. Anywhere where they take in sums of money. Why? Bear is catty quartering it right here. Bouquet right here. Fish right here. Promissory here. Speaking at rallies. So this thing sits on 24, 23, 22. 2 of these or several of these places where as a thing, garden would be outdoor areas, large areas, parks, and at nights here to lilies, places where you would go to relax. So perhaps golf courses or anything like that where there's large land, but also anywhere where you would go to speak before the public where it's very social. Okay, so perhaps there's something here shady as well. If there is a super PAC or anything like that, where money was being transferred to this super PAC and then being transferred back to them one way, shape, or form, that comes under scrutiny by this person here because they're discussing and negotiating gifts that are fraudulent. This sits on Fox of finances. And then it's problematic here. a very triumphant and successful party. Several of them with him. But there's promises of gifts that are fraudulent and money that comes in here. But he gets in trouble for that, and there's a loss there too. Okay, where else can I go? Let me box him in. Right now, I think I said he's under pressure, significant amount of pressure, being forced. And he's shitting his pants. He sits on house mice. He is on house mice. So he's got clouds over his head. He's quite confused and troubled. He's nervous about the entire situation. He talks to birds here through nighting, emphasizes the nervousness, the anxiety, the problems, because it's very close. This becomes negative when it's close. He's within close range to coffin, because it nights to him. Depression, worried. He's very concerned about severe losses, like ruin. And it sits on house clouds, which sits on stars. Stars and clouds. Let me see. Let me pull that one out. Sorry, you guys, I'm not looking at the chat. So if anybody's trying to get my attention, I'm kind of looking down. Sorry. This right here is a series of unfortunate events. As the stars are many in the night sky, this is trouble. It just spreads and spreads and spreads. Why? Because you cannot see the light of the stars. It's covered up by the clouds. Okay, so this is not good. And clouds is sitting on house stars, if I'm making any sense. Lilies is catacornering here to clouds. This is domestic grief and sorrow. So his problems are not only financial this way, but it's a series of unfortunate events and domestic grief and sorrow, if that makes any sense at all. You see here. Okay, so he's got this one. Where's Fox? Where is the Foxity Fox? Oof, this one. He's got the whole gang of misery right over here. That's big trouble. But we'll get to that. Let me see. Let me highlight that so I can make a note that he's got the gang of misery right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. 14, 23, 11, 7, 21. He's got the gang of misery. And then he's got lilies and clouds, domestic grief and sorrow. He's got clouds on house stars. That's series. Unfortunate events. Okay, sorry. Okay, what else does this touch? Okay, coffin sits on clouds, and clouds, it's right here. It's going to be a series of unfortunate events due to losses of very large buildings and losses also in court. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Institutions that are solid. And with these two, not just a judge, but something historical. There is something that there's a message coming in, scythe sitting on rider, of something being cut off, ruptured, cut. with some sort of paperwork. Paperwork that has been established as commerce. That brings commerce. That has been very reliable in bringing in money. With a trusted agency or government. So I'm wondering if this is in regards to, because if this is a historical building, it says it's lost here. There's also news that something's being cut off in regards to mail delivery this way. Delivery of mail. That's a lie. And then there's the agreement here. That gets cut off too. And it's around mail that's delivered that is with a very large building. Is that like post office? Is that like a post office? Because this is mail that's delivered. False agreement. Is there something with him with like mail, a building that deals with mail? So like UPS, FedEx, that the family has an agreement to like lease out or something like that, where mail is delivered. The old post office, well, that one gets cut off too, because there's a rupture here of mail. And if you look down this line, mail delivery false agreement this way. And that one gets closed as well, because there's notices of ruptures and buildings, large buildings closing. They converted it into a hotel. Well, good luck with that. Because there's these closing. Okay, what else is here? This right here. The post office hotel in DC. There's a post office hotel? What is a, wait, how is there a post, what, huh? A post office hotel? That doesn't make sense. How can there be a hotel inside of a post office? If he has an accounting firm in Texas. Oh boy. Old post offices he converted into. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there's a loss there. And also some sort of notice where something, they're being cut off. And it's swift. Okay. Let me go back to his little box here. So him and the Banshee. She's got ring to her left. So I don't know if they've finalized and they're married already, but between him and her, they seem to be doing fairly well, quite social, and spending it up, quite literally. Perhaps fundraising and raising money for parties, raising money for this night's here, this night's here, this night's here, this night's here. I'm telling you, it looks like this portion right here around this and all the money around it. Bear, fish, the bouquet, the ring. This all looks like some sort of a super PAC of some sort. More than one. More than one. Where they're taking in a bunch of money. But eventually, even though it looks good right here, as you move down the line, it gets bad. Garden Knights to Mountain. Problems. Because they're keeping something secret here. And then the success runs into problem and they start losing. They start losing. They start losing there. So this Knights to Lilies. It's a conservative party as well. Public office. So that looks like a super PAC there. And then taking all the money in right here. Garden Knights to Storks. But it Knights to Clouds as well. Changing, improving their reputation, their honors, how they're seen. Keeping stuff secret. This could also be the RNC as well, because it's a party, very large group of people that are conservative. But if this is the RNC, there's also a political party here, like a super PAC, because it shows two. This sits on crossroads. As it moves this way, they lose support. Ends here. And then this way, cut off. They lose support from the RNC. Right now, it looks good. And it will look good until you hit here. If I'm following the line this way. Financial success. And then this woman here, a bank this way. But it's in trouble. It's in trouble. Very powerful financial woman. Upgrading, changing, and improving finances. A bank. And then there's the trouble there. Now, down this column, having to go to court and speak. Book sits on birds, followed by birds right after it. Birds sits on child. He does not talk. He does not talk. Birds sitting on child could be him speaking of his innocence or keeping his mouth shut to assert his innocence. So pleading the fifth, I would assume. Snake is sitting on garden. And sun is sitting on mountain. So lying to a group of people, he would be very stupid to lie to a grand jury. Also, this could be a grand jury. If there's the court, there's a large, very large body of people, and then there's your peers right there. So a jury of peers at the grand jury. He doesn't talk. And when he talks, it's innocent. So pleading the fifth, possibly. Snake is sitting on gardens. So lying to a large body or a huge amount of trouble, lies, betrayal, and problems within this large group, this party, this congregation of people. Them trying to obstruct and delay does not work because mountain sits below this, but sun sits on mountain. So like I said before, he tries to obstruct. Their new strategy here is to obstruct, to fight it and obstruct, but this woman wins the resolution. And it happens swiftly because that's the first card that opens up the tableau. Let's see here. This woman here has achieved opening up all the secrets down this way. And then if these are the secrets, this could be lawyers up here. They're persistent lawyers here, arguing their innocence to be successful. A friend or a companion or somebody that you trust and is loyal. The loyalty within the family sits on house to keep their mouth shut and not talk is going to become problematic. There's lies here, but it all comes out here with sun, because the sun closes out this tableau. And there's something that happens here where there's what the court has set out to do. They've achieved what they're going to do, and they win the court this way. Not him, the court. Because Clover sits on Tower, and Tower's right up here. It falls down the line. And they lose the argument. He loses the fight. Because if you follow this line, trying to achieve the win here is debated, lost. And Whip sits back on Letter, disputing the results or disputing against the evidence here. Because this would be your evidence that is significant of the thieving. And their innocence here is disputed by the courts, if that made any sense at all. Let me see. Now, with this entire gang of misery, Jesus. I mean, it's all right here. Cross, whip, mice, fox, snake. And it's all around them winning. It does not, the strategy that they have. Okay, we could look at fox for strategy. The strategy that they have doesn't work. The win, no. This would be your win here. If it was Snake wasn't here and it was Clover and Sun, huge win. But if you look at what sits between, it's Snake. And then even this way, mice, right below it, whip, and then right next to it, mountain. Loss. Okay. Eating away. Diminishing their innocence. Their win at the court is problematic. Their innocence is disputed and blocked. This woman here wins. Now, whip is also addictions. I don't think I need to go there. I think it's pretty evident that that he has several addiction issues. This would be something that's very quick, fun. So like cocaine. This would be something that makes you very nervous, like nervous because of the mice nervousness, anxiety. He suffers from that. And then he's got crossroads right below it. That would be like several addictions. Something that gives him a headache, that makes him lie. So, I mean, but I don't need to go there because, I mean, that's, you know, that's common knowledge. All you need to do is watch any video of him and it's, no medical emergency. You just need to watch a video of him because he's just, dear God. But it's something that he's addicted to that makes him nervous, that's very quick, acts very quickly, might give him headaches, that he suffers from that. He's got several of those. And he lies about it too. Rich white boy problems, huh? He probably bouquet and clouds, that could be like marijuana. That's very powerful marijuana to get high up here. Storks, something that's up high. Because here it shows more than one addiction with crossroads. Okay, disputing important arguments here to keep something quiet, not talking, but he's going to have to talk. But when he speaks of his innocence. And when he speaks going this way, there could be something there where I don't understand. I don't know. I don't recall, because there's confusion right above him. Birds, nights to lilies. That would be negotiating something peacefully, but also honestly. But lilies is sitting on clouds. And birds sits on child. So perhaps trying to speak to this right here, the courts, about his innocence, but it's like the evidence is significant about the thievery here. And his innocence is disputed. Let me see. Fraud, financial, deep-rooted and solid fraud. That's financial with him, with these four. This right here, there's secrets that he does not want to speak about, talk about, nothing. Shut your mouth. That are big problems about his, in regards to finances, on this thing, the organization, the institution. Mice is far. Whatever he loses, he's not able to get back. Cross is far from him as well. So the suffering is long term. It's not, it's below him, but it's far. So it's like, good luck. Let me see here. And it's funny too. He's got coffin on clouds, and it nights, clouds nights here, that nights here. So cloud and coffin. Trump has that too. That's how his grand tableau starts. Clouds and coffin. And they all have large buildings closing. Tower nights to coffin. In Banky's grand tableau. Tower, coffin. And here it is again. Coffin, clouds. They, all three tableaus are showing that same pattern. They're all showing that same pattern of tower, coffin, clouds coffin. They're all showing it. The 3 that I've done so far. So that would be Spanky, Vanky, and Sniffy. That's interesting. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see this for 1 second. And then where's clouds? Bam. They're all showing this. So, okay, this right here, the institution ends. The corporations close and end. There's a huge loss here. Very, and it's not just like a loss like mice or a loss like Scythe. This is a very deep, painful loss. Very deep and painful. Painful losses in court and institutions. And then they all show this as well. Let me see. Let me see here. Because they all have this. They all have that. And I'm thinking, you guys. Okay. Okay, hold on. So this and this. This and this. Okay, I think I went over that already. Besides the institutions and the corporations and the losses in court, Tower also deals with isolation. Isolation. Oh, hold on. I just got something. Thanks, Sunflower. Isolation, depression. And this, if we're looking at this as isolation, this could be saying that this ends in isolation and they're having a nervous breakdown. And when the losses come in court, if I read it this way, the confusion ends and then there's clarity. This is not a good time for them at all. This is saying isolation and there's a loss, a serious loss that ends up in isolation. However, what's closest to him is civil. Do you see that? Garden, civil. This garden, knight's here to tower. So this could be something civil that's happening in the courts. The criminal stuff shows up, I guess, over here, because these two right here. Oh, whoa, I didn't even see that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. See over here on Vankeys too. You see Vankeys real quick. Where's tower and garden? And then she is over here. So I can see the civil case very clearly. The criminal one, because the civil case can't put them in jail. All the civil case can do is close down the large buildings and other stuff and fine them. The criminal case, because they both run parallel, okay? That's probably why this is also landing in the House of Crossroads, because there's two of these, of a large body of people in government for civil, and this is government as well. So that could be, I'm having a hard time picking out where the criminal case would be. Hold on. And then here's the little Rico here, because this is little, small, and then there's the abuse here. Where's his on Tableau? Whip sits on letter. So this must be the criminal case over here then, because something creative, that is a union, that shows partnership, okay? That connects, that links something. Little, and then something that has a pattern of abuse because they have the evidence. This sits on letter. And then here's the two, again, Crossroads sits below it on house key. 8, 9, 10. Yep. What is this? Key sits on scythe. So I think the criminal is over here for him. The closest thing to him is the civil. And if it's this way, okay, the financial problems and all that other crap that he won't talk about, that is discovered and delivered. The secrets and what they have discovered, because this here is discovery, are sent to over here for further investigation, and that's where the charges come in. That's little, and it shows a pattern. So that could be legal Rico or little Rico. So I would think because he sits on house mice, that's nervousness. Okay. anxiety, and he's close to birds, which is not good. This becomes bad when it's closest. And the financial problems that he's having up here. I would say he is more concerned because of this, the institution's closing. And then coffin on clouds followed by clouds, which has shown, and not, like I said earlier, in Ivanka's grand tableau and in Donald Trump's grand tableau and now his, this pattern keeps showing up. So there's something significant there between those three. I haven't done Eric's yet. It could be, again, Tower deals with isolation. So it could be that he's potentially very nervous and crap in his pants about the potential of this ending and him imprisoned, because this is isolation. And then there's the loss, very painful loss. And then clouds, coffin sits on clouds. So that when this ends, there's going to be clarity that could result in the other one of these, because there's two here, public and then government. So perhaps a jury that listens, peers that listen in a group in government here, if that makes any sense, that information can be handed over to this investigation here. If you follow this line this way, that will result in charges that are significant for thievery. And it's something creative that unites, that's little, based on what they have kept secret and what they have learned, that shows a pattern here of obstruction. And then down here, this is his line of fate. So it's crossroads. What do you call this? Cross, house, and ship. So the choices and decisions, options, the options that he has are very painful and difficult. There's going to have to be sacrifices made to home and property. And when this thing transfers, it's bad. It sits on cross. There's suffering. And also the business, the family business, the commerce from the family is bad. It's guilty. It's charged. These two here, I've always read as impeachment. So I wouldn't doubt in this context, since he was not president, I wouldn't doubt that this means that the charges are on their way from the government and it's going to be a loss that could result in isolation. That's causing, it's causing them a lot of trouble. Clouds and coffin can also be a nervous breakdown, because coffin has to do with illness. Yeah, exactly. Greek hillbilly indictments. That's what I was saying. Since I've always read this as impeachment, in this case, I would read it as indictments are on their way. And that one, I think, is the first time I've seen that. I don't think I've seen that. Let me see Ivanka's. Let me see Ivanka's letter is here. Nope. They don't even talk. They don't even talk. Nope. Okay. Scythe and letter. On Trump's, it's on the same line. But they're not close to each other. It's separated by 3, so it's far. it's too far for those two to be. So I'm wondering why it's showing up on his. Besides them all sharing that same pattern. His is the only one that shows indictment. But all three tableaus show this same exact pattern. Boy, some people are feeling pretty lonely tonight. Thank you, Johnny. Johnny's over there freaking I wouldn't say gunslinging, but slinging wrenches. Johnny is on point, and so are all the other moderators. Thank you guys so much. I don't see him spilling his guts. He keeps his mouth shut over here. Book sits on birds, followed by birds sitting on child. I don't see him ratting anybody out. Because dog sits on house, he remains loyal to the family. And then house sits on anchor. It's like indict Junior because we know that he'll remain steadfast and loyal to the family. So, like I said, all ground tableaus are showing this. I'm wondering if he's the first one that they crack. And by crack, I mean this. Indict. Which is kind of weird. It really is, because I thought it was Ivanka Trump whose signature is all over everything. Can somebody please correct me on that or let me know? I know, right, Johnny? This could be his dad here too, with the clouds, king of clubs, and look what sits right above it. There's the little heart. Daddy still loves me. He'll get me off. Thank you, Catherine. That's interesting. Comparing all three tableaus. Oh, maybe that's what this is too, a rally. Speaking at a rally in front of many. There's the girlfriend there too. And also Tower Knights here. That's also the committee, the January 6th committee. To come and talk. Yo, 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 you need to come talk. And I wouldn't be surprised about her too, her being the Banshee. And also, if we want to be quite literal, here's Fox News. Fox, significant or very important news, hiding the conversations that they were having. Fox, important news, secrets, conversation. So, and this as a thing, birds as a thing, is your cell phone or anything else that you would use for verbal communication. Letter is more written communication. Okay. So, I mean, you know, if we're going to read this, the symbols as a thing, this would be like a Fox News. I wonder, Terry, I wonder if Junior talked to somebody from Fox News as well. Even though it's far away here from, if this is Fox News, look how far it is from him. Okay, it's not close. But this, like I said, a committee, a party, somewhere that's social, well, that could be the January 6th committee wanting him to come in. And I'm wondering if they want the girlfriend to come in as well, because she's got it sitting over her head. And she nights over to birds. So she may have spoken here at this large gathering of people, besides being in attendance at a party, because this is saying having a good time socializing at a party. And then her. And then him having a good time socializing at a party. And then here's the phone calls that were had. Birds sits on child. So not only him speaking his innocence in court, but also speaking to a child. That came from here. So I'm wondering if he had communications with like Fox News or like a Mark Meadows or somebody else. This would be a man. This would be a man. This is a man. And house down here that you can't see, that's a man. So he's got this person here very close by. This person here, which I would assume would be his father, King of Clubs. This, I don't know who this is. This is King of Spades. Down here, King of Diamonds with the fish. King of Hearts with the house. So he's closest to this one here, which, and because Bear is authoritative and a parental figure, I would think this is his dad. And then he's got a man down here with fish and one up here. This person, as a person, older, wiser, someone that gives counsel, possibly white hair, possibly, because this card is associated to the mature. Let's see what else. Veteran. What else? Fish would be like a business. I'm thinking this is Mark Meadows, because the reason I'm saying Mark Meadows, King of Diamonds, many, 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 many. Fish is also many. Okay. Right here, garden, a big, large, grassy area with fish. So a big, large, grassy area that has many. So I would think, because of that combination, I would think this is Mark Meadows here. So I don't know if he was in communication with Meadows, because down this line, this would be an advisor, a friend, a guide in the house or the administration. Dog sits on house, communicating with the child about the rally. And then a big, large area outdoors that is very vast and wide with many. So I would think with Mark Meadows. So communicating with Meadows, quite possibly. I don't know. I don't know if he was communicating with Meadows. And then he was communicating with this person up here too. There's the dad. Now there is this woman here, which I'm assuming is the gargoyle. There's this one here, which I'm assuming is Ivanka. And then there's this one here, who I don't know who that is. And then there is, where's the other one? 1, 2, where's Crossroads? Nope, those are the only ones he's got close by. Wait a second. No, Crossroads is way down here. So he's got this woman here, which I think might be his sister, because it sits next to Bird, a pair. So I'm thinking that's his sister. And then whoever this other woman is down here. This person could be a celebrity, could be famous, well-known, may have something to do with media or television, because Stork sits on house Moon, and it's which is fame, recognition, and then stars right above it, celebrity. So this person here is some sort of a celebrity of some sort. I have no idea. And then the sister. I don't know who this is. Don't know who that is right there. 8, 7. This person sits on house snake. Liar. Vindictive. Has some sort of seniority as well. And power. I'm wondering if this could be like a McCarthy or something like that. Seniority, power. And all they desire is power and finances and having control of the party this way for this person. This could also be quite literally saying a death that happened at a very large building. And that, remember I said this shows up in all 3 grand tableaus. So it could quite literally be the deaths that happened at the Capitol. Fucking hell. And then there's another woman way over here, but she's not directly involved with this group here that's immediately touching him. His sister, his dad, Meadows, girlfriend, whoever this person is, and then this person up here. But this person is not as close as this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, because it's sitting there's right in the middle. But it's still close, but not as close, if that makes any sense. So like one removed. Now let me see what else. Trish, what are you talking about? I don't know yet, Robin. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still trying to pick stuff out. I'm trying to pick everything out, which is ridiculous that I even try. I'll get to that eventually, but just hold on. I'm still picking. Oh, okay. I thought I missed something. Thanks, Deb. Now, where is Storks? Storks hitting this right here. And then he's linked here. He links here. They've linked him to the... Okay, duh. Okay, I'm dumb. Sorry. Johnny asked a good question earlier, Becca. Do you see documents that his father stole from the White House? Right here. Documents, significantly, or documents that are important, that are missing. Important documents are missing or stolen. Okay, so remember I said this sits on crossroads, so there's more than one of this. So I read it as a PAC. I read it as the RNC. I've read it as several grand juries. And I've also read it as the January 6th committee, because there's several of these. Garden is sitting on Crossroads. Okay, so from where Don Jr. sits, he knights here to Ring. He knights here to Birds. They've linked him to communications, meetings as well, what they were negotiating. And that link was made by a woman. Ring sits on Housewoman. So he's linked to communications, meetings, negotiations. So they have, if I knight this to this, the committee has him linked either through phone records, text messages. They have him linked to this, to the big, huge party of people that came in and just wrecked the fucking place. And there was deaths in the Capitol. Okay. Okay. Now, for Johnny's questions, there's important documents that are missing. Okay. Okay, this is saying that there's charges are achieved. They achieve charges, and he remains resilient and loyal to his family. And it's a loss for him where he loses, like something about isolation or whatever. The documents were delivered. This sits on House Whip. It sits on, but see, Johnny, oh, fuck yeah. What is this? Letter, which would be your documents. Knights over to book. See? Boom, boom, boom. Classified documents. That's your classified documents right there. But here it's saying that they were delivered here. This is where it shows the delivery down this way. What's that, Renee? Judge rules that the civil lawsuit over the January 6th riots can go forward. Where is that, Renee? Well, this would be boxes. Boxes would be somewhere where there's a resort where you go to relax in a large open area. Here, it shows the documents are delivered to this place that's problematic. And this sits on, Snake sits on Garden, a large area. It's like a big outdoor. God, I can't even talk. I'm sorry, Johnny. Like where there's a large area outside. If I follow this line, the documents were delivered. And then they lied. And those documents that were delivered as some sort of treachery, betrayal. But again, it sits far from him. Okay. So it doesn't look like he stole any. From where he sits, it doesn't it doesn't look like he took anything. He just may have knowledge that they were moved there. They were delivered. Okay. Now, when you follow this night's here, the classified documents, some sort of a win in the government. He may have had someone around him, like not this guy, but Trump. Let me go back to 23. What's on House Mice? Junior's on House Mice. Let me see. Okay, hold on. Because here it shows the delivery of classified documents on Trump's Grand Tableau, as well as the documents that were eaten with letter and bear's food. And then visitor logs are being delivered down here. Logs with letter, writer, visitor, who came to speak to him and meet with him, the visitor logs. Investigating, blocking. Okay, Fox investigating. Mountain blocking. Mountain sits on house birds. Blocking the meetings. Mountain is followed by birds. Okay, so there's your meetings. Logs of visitors right down this line. And we just heard about that. That came out on the news a couple days ago, I think, right? And I think we discussed that 2 nights ago in the last Grand Tableau that the Grand Tableau for Trump. Something was asked and I was like, no, this is visitor logs, or like records or mail that has to do with visitors. Johnny, me too, man. And it's like, it's kind of an insult to goats, because at least goats are funny and goats are cute and goats are cool. And Trump's just a buffoon, dumbass idiot, man. Like, I can't. And then I saw that clip of Joy Reid that made the connection of when Trump was at that rally years ago, when he was talking about, you have to flush the toilet 8 million times. Well, then we found out, well, yeah, it's because he was clogging the toilets with classified documents. Like, I can't. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to go do something real quick. I'll be right back. And I need to get up because my butt hurts. Just 1 second, please. I had to go walk around a little bit and regulate downstairs, make sure that the boys don't get out of hand. So, I'm back. Okay, what'd I miss? Sorry about that. Let me see. The plaintiffs in the January 6th civil case against the Mango were of Congress and Capitol Police who were at the Capitol during the riots, ruling the federal judge, Anita P. Jesus. He's got this sitting right under him, fish. Selling. Where's ship? Oh, ship is down here. Right below fish. Okay. Anchors. Okay. Okay, there. Okay. It's got financial problems here. Big financial problems, like a shitstorm of financial problems. Selling stuff for extra because fish is touching ship. You can't see it. It's sitting right below. Ship is the extra that you get on top of your income. Anchor sits on ship. Those three right there are commerce and business. They're not close, but it's in-house ship. They're going to try to sell, or he's going to try to sell. This is his Grand Tableau, but his dad's up here too. Perhaps to add to, because Stork sits right next to it, to add to gain money extra in commerce, but it's going to be very difficult and very painful. And this right here, it's saying that several properties are going to suffer, as well as the family are going to suffer, and they're going to have to the properties are going to have to be transitioned or moved, but they transition and they're transferred because of a lot of pain. They have to be sacrificed. And then it's got fish sitting right here, catty cornering this and touching it. So selling properties to recuperate, but even the sales of those properties become very, very difficult. Johnny, I have a question. Like I was saying earlier, Trump's Grand Tableau and Ivanka's Grand Tableau and Junior's Grand Tableau keep showing this same pattern: tower and mountain, or tower and cross. And then, I'm sorry, tower and coffin and clouds. They all show the same pattern, except he's the only one that has a charge here out of those three Grand Tableaus that I've done. Okay. And I was wondering, why would this not show up in Ivanka Trump's when she was the one that had her signature all over everything? I don't think so, Engla. I'm reading this as charges, Johnny. Like he's being charged. Because here it's saying that the charges are achieved. But what I'm not understanding is, because I haven't seen this in Ivanka or Trump's. But it was her signature. And this can also be like pen to paper, you know? But I'm reading it as charges. Charges are achieved in something to do with commerce and business. And then down this right here, it shows chronic thievery and fraud that in business that makes that he's guilty of and the family is guilty of. But there's a charge for him and not so much Beavis and Butthead were in charge of Trump org while Daddy was playing president. Well, there's an organization here. Gifts of money. We talked about that way earlier, Lucky Girl. And it's more than one. So like, I don't know if this would be like the Trump PAC or other PACs that there's all sorts of shit with this one besides grand juries and the January 6th committee. There's a whole bunch of them that were taking in a slew of money. It was a cash cow. Why doesn't Ivanka have charges in her grand tableau? Writer, house, woman, my son. Writer, house, woman, mice, and son. So there's feedback that the family woman stole. She stole. But then she clears it somehow with that son. That's what I was saying, Lucky Girl. Because this sits on crossroads. It's more than, because here it's showing a conservative party, but also a very large area where you go to relax, like a spa of some sort. That's another way to interpret that. Because right here he's showing, besides this, that's right over his head that he's nervous about because he sits on house mice, he's shitting his pants. The main thing on his mind is the losses in court and quite possibly this ending very badly for him in isolation, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, the serious financial trouble. And once this problem is resolved, when everything is revealed and clears the air, that this is going to set everything off in a whole new trajectory this way. And it's going to result in an insane amount of sorrow for him. And it's just like it's going to snowball with clouds sitting on stars. It's going to snowball and it's going to take a whole new direction and add to. And then whenever all this is resolved, it adds to, and it's come on a new path. But it's not good because then you got over here all the bad stuff, all of it. This right here, the fox, the mice, the whip, the snake, the mountain, the cross, the scythe. It's all over here. As far as timing goes, it's sun for timing is around the summer. This is July. This is around the 20th or 20 days. So in about 20 or 20 days, it's after that period is when the shit hits the fan. There's a period of delay because Mountain sits on him, where he fights to delay here, but it doesn't work. It's resolved very quickly. And then it moves forward this way. This is an action card and this is an action card. So from where Mountain sits in comparison to him, it sits on his house. It's resolved here. Here's this woman, and then action here, and then action here. And it's starting off with an action card, Scythe in the House of Rider. So the attempts to delay backfire, and it moves very quickly. Clover sits on tower. So that would be like a win in court, but it's flanked by, if I box this in, this is all bad. There's something very important here that he's going to have to go visit, but he doesn't talk. Okay. Book sits on birds. He keeps his mouth shut. He's nervous here. This is theft and anxiety as well. A win in the court because Clover sits on tower. So a win in the court, very small chance here. Small chance, but it's problematic. His innocence is debated. And there's problems for him, delays, obstacles, obstruction, enemies. But it's a pattern of delaying, arguments that are blocked, arguments that don't go anywhere, and it moves forward this way. Significant fighting and arguing about the results or the evidence that they have in court. This goes to Clover, which goes back over here. The court is very solid. Tower sits on tree. It's solid and it grows. It's also growing. And here with this, it's like once these large buildings and the corporations close, the financial problems just metastasize and expand. Persistent fraud for self-serving within this institution or corporation. Manipulating his innocence and manipulating stuff that he's innocent by keeping his mouth shut. Someone that was a friend or a guide or an aide in the government when it closed or when there was a death there, the phone calls or meetings that were made about the large group of people that were outside causing a ruckus. Lying, Tower Knights here to Snake, lying to government, institution that is false. It's not real. There's institutions that are not known about or they're not talking about that may be bringing in some wins that are small, but they're keeping it quiet. This can also be read as government or institutional knowledge about a secret meeting that was had for a win. And then child and house books. So that would be like new knowledge, small knowledge, what is now learned. If it was assets, if your guys are talking about assets, it would be this, and that is in deep shit. The assets are in deep shit. And that deep shit's just going to spread. Okay. So that's his chain around. He's nervous about the family loyalty. Man, nervous. loyalty, family. In achieving some sort of transition, and then there's a sacrifice here. And that the business's success is going to it's gonna run into a serious issue. This would be like a pileup of debt, and business doesn't move at all. It's problematic. His loyalty will achieve him great suffering and sacrifice. But he's nervous about family loyalty here. And if you look right above his head, he's got doubts with clouds. He's got doubts. And he's got heart sitting on coffin. So heart is love, it's not loyalty, love, it's desire, it's passion. And then loss, doubt. That causes him a series of unfortunate events. Family sorrow here. Family grief and sorrow. He's nervous about the loyalty in the family. And he's the family, friends, those closest, not just the family, but the family, friends closest, the close inner circle entourage that have been around and been reliable with their commerce. Sacrifice and pain here, burdens, and then business takes a hit. The income of money is blocked and delayed. You're not getting around that. This is also a pileup. Anywhere where there's a pileup. So there's like a pileup of, stuff is not moving. This is an action card here with fish. It's not moving. This here, ship, action card. It has difficulty moving forward. And also anchor ship. So he's nervous about those closest to the family, the inner circle, the entourage, that they've jumped ship because it's anchor ship. If it was ship anchor, that means you've reached your destination. This right here is kind of like what we say in the Navy, pulling chocks. So up and leaving. And then sacrifice here. And then the many, the abundance, the prosperity, the independence, and the success just kind of comes to a grinding halt here. Let me see. And what's interesting too, that I don't see in this one, but it happened in Trump's and Ivanka's Grand Tableau, was they had coffin. They both had crossroads on coffin, running out of options, no more choices, dead ends, and several losses. Grief. And also in this chain with fish, not being able to move things to sell. They're not going to be able to sell. Or whatever he's in charge of trying to sell, it doesn't move. It's blocked somehow. The corners, broken heart and a change of broken heart and a changing of emotions. So change of heart when the shit hits the fan. Broken heart change, and then emotions here. And it's not just his emotion, it's those that he's linked to, promised to. And then this right here is just trouble. Knowing what took place in the meetings, not wanting to talk about what took place in meetings, but that it's already known. It's the secret here has already been, it's already come out, and it'll be made public here. All the lies that were told here as well. The lies to the public, lies to lies at rallies, lies about a large party where there's a congregation, lies about just about everything that get exposed. So everything they've tried to keep secret and the treachery is exposed. And there's betrayals here. And then this column down this way is death, losses, illness, communicating lies repeatedly. So, the big lie. Right here. Tower meeting. The tower meeting that was successful, and some sort of union or agreement with a woman, because Ring sits on house woman. There's woman there. So there's a tower meeting. But that happened in his past. So unless there's a new Trump Tower meeting that we'll hear about, I don't know. But this one doesn't look like it had to do with elections. And I simply say that because Crossroads is way over here. It doesn't even talk to this. This is looking more like having to go in to talk to government about the corporations and the institutions. So I hope that made it clear, Robin. There's a tower meeting about some sort of successful union or compromise or something that they were doing, but this is not the Trump Tower meeting with Jared Kushner, because elections are far away. It lands out of the tableau. So this is something different. So I don't know. Wait a minute. Where was that meeting that they had right before the insurrection where they set up that war room? Was that at a hotel? Does anybody know? The Willard Hotel, is that a tower or a large building? No, it does not, Feisty. Oh, it's across the street from the White House, huh? Maybe they have evidence on him. Was he at the Willard? Because there's a large building here. There's a meeting that they were discussing how to win, be triumphant, be successful, and how they the union who was working together. All of those linked to cling on to power this way. And all the big amounts of money that could be made. Was Junior there? Because it's showing a meeting here. This meeting, there's this person, some sort of aide or advisor in the house, or perhaps had a position in the house, close entourage that was in government. There's all these people here that were meeting and conversing. There's the rally here. There's a woman here, a woman here. This is Queen of, what is this? Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Hearts, Queen of Clubs, Queen of Spades, Queen of Clubs. Okay, so this would be like a Mark Meadows. There's lawyers here too. Lawyers, someone that advises you, that's reliable, that advises you in regards to law. Birds, that's the meeting itself. Private meeting with book on house birds, but then birds follows it. A meeting that was small. So not a huge group of people. A private meeting with not too many people. Child is number 13. Birds is number 12, but it's also the 7 of, I want to say, diamonds. And then I don't know if Mark Meadows was there, because this is a large grassy area. It's not a person, but it's followed here by King of Diamonds. I'm wondering if Mark Meadows was there. I mean, it's hard for me to pick out all the people, you guys. I can't. There's one touching here, one touching here, one touching here. Could be more than one. You know, I don't know how many people were there. This says 12. This says 31. This says 20. I don't know how many people were at the Willard Hotel meeting. So I can't give you an exact number. So Bannon, Eastman was a lawyer. Giuliani was a lawyer. So there's lawyers here. Maybe aides as well. Someone that helps in the entourage. Doggone house. Those are the IQ scores. Exactly, Johnny. And that's being generous, my friend. No, Feisty. No, it does not. Some joined via Zoom. Wow. Oh, that's right. Sunflower. And didn't some of them use an app that was supposed to be encrypted to keep it out of the eyes of the government? Or something like that. They had besides the PowerPoint presentations, and all that other stuff, didn't they also use encrypted apps to text message and talk to each other? To try to, yes, okay, because see, like I was saying, private, classified, and it sits on birds, but then birds is right after it, followed by sun, and then there's your treason and your betrayal. That's smack dab in the middle of his tableau. So I don't know if he was in those meetings or what, but it's showing right smack in the middle of it. Or Vanky was there, because that's a woman, this is a woman, but I couldn't possibly sit here and try to pick out every single damn thing, you know? The Signal app is what they were using. Well, there's lawyers. A team of lawyers. And then if this is stealing, which, you know, mice is stealing its losses, the lawyers here delivered the news about how they were going to fight Rider on whip, stealing, mice on child, stealing and small losses, and then moon on ring, emotionally committed and committed to fame and here achieving their goals. So how they were going to deliver the news on how they were going to fight this to steal it. This knight's here, knight's there, knight's there. Persistent fraud, self-serving out of an institution. Small knowledge. And then here is the delivery of false documents to get contracts. So the charges here are achieved because of documents that were delivered that were false for contracts. And a woman has that. So that's probably Letitia James, but there's charges coming for that. Scythe on Rider, Rider on whip. News of danger that's going to cause a lot of fighting and arguing and debates. Something chronic that shows a pattern. And I think we talked about this before, a pattern of fraud and thievery that they're going to be punished for this way on this line of influence. Let's look at the mountain. When, chance, opportunity, hope, trouble and lies, and then there's success here. Chronic delays are resolved. Choices and decisions that are difficult and burdensome for the family, that causes the family to have to sacrifice. Their luck is delayed for the family. What they were hoping for is resolved by a woman. Very heated debates and fighting. They don't win. I think I covered this before. This would, if Snake wasn't here, this would be like a huge win. But it's Snake here, Mountain here, Whip here, and then Clover, Knights over to Cross. That's not a win. And then it's Clover, Whip, and Crossroads. So winning in court, no, it's debated, it's argued, there's evidence against it, and they have all the answers. Crossroads on Key. Key sits on Scythe. Oh my God, this is so fucked. Significant charges delivered. Fighting about the results and the evidence. Winning in court. The institutions are solid. Changing. Improving. Reputation and committed woman. The woman wins this. A committed woman is successful. Delay, Junior, nervous, thieving. Loyal to family, reliable in commerce, suffers, sacrifice, business. Success is delayed for him. Yeah. Good luck, Spanky. Good luck to all you stupid mofos. Here's some advice. Don't crime. Do not crime. I saw something on the YouTube today that it was saying that his lawyers in court tried to argue that that Donald Trump and his family shouldn't have to stand in court because of they didn't use the word privileged. They used a different word. I just couldn't stop laughing. Like, and then Letitia James is after the judge ruled, James was like, nobody's above the law, not even if you were the former president. I'm like, these stupid SOBs, man. Like, are you seriously like gonna pull that card? Like, we shouldn't have to go to court and we don't have to answer to anybody because daddy was the president of the United States. It's like, I mean, shit like that could work in Russia. Oh, the special class. That's right, Indigo Moon. They said that they shouldn't have to go to court and talk because they are of a special class. Yeah, special as in your IQ is below 0. Probably hovering somewhere around the negatives. I mean, that's a good way to walk into court and stick your parts in the judge's eye. I mean, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Cracker Jack box. I mean, you want to talk about a narcissistic pieces of crap. Oh my God. Hey, GM Dave. Mm-mm-mm. So yeah, he's good now till we get to right about over here. Then he's fucked. I mean, he's fucked either way, but all the bad stuff is over here on this side. So we did Junior. I guess we should do Eric possibly. I'll try to see if I can come on tomorrow. Because we know Derek has already, Eric has, i.e. Paste, has already sat for deposition. And I think he pleaded the fifth over 500 times. So I'm curious to see if this and this Tower Coffin and Coffin Clouds, Clouds Coffin shows up in his too. Because all three that I've done so far, those keep coming up. And for Ivanka and Trump, I'm just reading, because see, here's Clouds and Coffin on his, and then Tower to Coffin here. So for those, I'm reading as the companies that they have and everything else, Trump work, all of it closes, all of it shut down, dissolved. And here you got mice right below it, dissolving, taking it apart, eating away at it, losses. Okay. And then I think we talked about the government fighting a contract because that contract was bad and it was a lie. And this, so that would be like the Trump, whatever the hell the government is leasing. So in Trump's Tableau, I'm reading these combinations more like the corporations that they have closing. Okay. Because here, letter sits over here, scythe sits way over here. For Ivanka, she's got the same thing. She's got Tower and Coffin right in the center of her Tableau. So the company's closing and it's a big loss. And where was the other one? And then Coffin and Clouds right below it. So it happens in her Tableau as well. Her Tableau doesn't have the charges. Letters up here, scythe is over here. For Junior, he's got those same exact things. The corporation's closing and then Coffin and Clouds. What's different in his is the charges. Indictments. It shows up on his, not theirs. In hers, it shows whip and scythe. Whip in house, anchor, and then scythe and house. Scythe and house cross. Where's the group? There's little Rico here. Little child with whip. Whip in the house of anchor. Letters over here. And then Trump and Ivanka both have crossroads in the house of Coffin. That's where hers and Trump's are exactly alike, with Tower, Coffin, and then Coffin Clouds, and then crossroads and house Coffin, which Trump has that as well in his. So it's like with them, I need to look at this more. My brain is fried. With them, it looks more like suffering because the institutions get closed and there's potential here, opportunity for Rico, something little that repeats. That causes all this stuff to close, that brings suffering and pain and a bunch of trouble and several losses. But for hers, it looks like those indictments are further removed, and it comes from these organizations closing and all the losses that they have. Same thing with Trump's several losses, Crossroads and House Coffin. And then there's Clouds and Coffin here, and then Tower and Coffin here. Where's Scythe? Nope. Where's Letter in regards to this one? Here. No. So I'm not understanding why charges are showing up for him specifically. Because on the other two, it looks like more like the institutions themselves closing. For him, it looks like charges. Sudden loss. Sudden loss. News of a sudden loss, like swift, like this, and then this. And it's right over here. So I don't know. I got it on my notebook. I don't know, sunflowers. See, that's the thing. It's like, because January 6th and all of that is showing up here. But there's charges that are achieved. And it could be January 6th because this right here is dog in house. So it could be people that are loyal in the house, that are persistent and loyal and trustworthy in the house, in government, that are solid. And then charges are achieved here. Sudden loss. It's delivered very swiftly and very quickly. And then that leads to a lot of fighting that they try to block and delay, but it's resolved by a woman and news from the courts comes out this way. Financial institutions, an institution that is a lie, public office. Dog is hitting this diagonal here. So this is someone friendly and loyal in a house. New hearings that are public, several hearings maybe, several organizations with many. So, I mean, it could be January 6th, but and if I read this, there's charges that are being achieved by those that are reliable and trustworthy in government that come from the House. Those charges win in court because they're solid. And then it adds to, or it has to do with trying to overthrow or change something, because it goes storks, tree to storks. Even though tower and storks is far away, that would be your insurrection. So it changes his career, his reputation, his honor, his emotions, how he's seen, his reputation. Then it goes to ring, a woman, a committed woman that is very conservative and well respected, has very strong lineage and a lot of power. Also around her father may have a lot of power too, but she's quite conservative. And there's trouble there and a lie to the committee. Quite possibly a rally, several rallies, several parties, and decisions that were made that were significant and important. Swift decision is delivered. February, March, April. So this is his line right here in February. This would be March, April. May, June, July, August. And then this could also be at the arrival of the fall. Writer in house Scythe. Writer is the very beginning one. Scythe is, so this would be January, but it's very quick. Scythe is card number 10, so that would be October. It's also the card for fall. So I'm thinking right around the fall, there's the referral, maybe, if I'm interpreting this correctly, that is gathered from the civil suit here, because here's the garden, lots of people. The civil suit, if I'm interpreting this correctly, this is February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and then October, November, December, January, and then back to February. Boom. So at the beginning of the fall, it's like it's like a referral is passed on for the criminal case, because here it shows chronic thievery and fraud and criminality down this diagonal. That's bad, guilty with cross. If I'm interpreting that correctly, just based off this first position here, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So it looks like the civil case first, January 6th commission, and then closer to the fall, the referral for criminal. If I'm interpreting that correctly. Now, whether that criminal stuff comes in from the January 6th committee and it goes to the Department of Justice, don't know. If it's the criminal investigation out of the Manhattan DA, I don't know. But there's a referral for charges. Either DOJ or what's the other guy? DA in Manhattan. If I'm interpreting that as the beginning of fall, we'll have to see. So keep that in mind. Well, this could be heart attack too. This is an accident or surgery. There's heart. I mean, it would be more like this. Heart surgery, heart attack. But we'll see. And I wouldn't say so because tree sits too far from him to be health related. Whip is close to tree. Mice is there. Tower is far though. So no. If anything, I would say depression because he knights over to coffin and it sits over his head. So there may be something that's causing him some depression. So that's what I got, you guys. I got to stop because my brain is like absolutely fried. So I'm going to put a note on this to look out. I'm going to make myself a note. 10 house 1 followed by 27 house 2. Let me put here beginning of the fall charges or criminal referral. Criminal referral either to DOJ and or Manhattan DA from this, and this. So if I'm interpreting that correctly, we shall see. We shall see. Beginning of the fall, October 27th, October, around that time. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. So we're in February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. September is 7 months away. October would be 8. So we'll see. I made a note of it. And by the time that time comes around, I'll forget. But I left myself a note so we can test out my theory when the time rolls around. And as well as, everything else I missed in this tableau, because I don't ever get everything, you guys. I try my best and I make mistakes, so don't come after me. So thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. It's been a pleasure. I think we should do paste next. Because I'm damn curious to see if he's going to get those same combos as these 3 clowns did. And y'all saw me shuffle the crap out of them cards, so it's not like, oh, they came out the same because you didn't shuffle. No, ma'am. No, sir. So we shall see. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out tonight. I want to thank everybody who was moderating tonight. Thank you for smashing trolls with your wrenches. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who has thumbs up the video. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you to everybody that super chatted. I'm very grateful for that. And we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to, like I said, try to be on here tomorrow. Sunday night, we'll be back on my channel with Johnny and Jenny. So look out for the community post going up tomorrow on Johnny's channel, Jenny's channel, and my channel. That's where we take questions for the Sunday night lives. So yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. It was nice seeing you again after my very long hiatus. I've just been kind of just keeping my head down and reading all of the books, because I'm a crackhead. Oh, I got to show you guys. I got a new I got a new Kindle sleeve. Because I read Six of Crows and I absolutely fell in love with that novel. Loved it. So I got to get on to the second novel now, Crooked Kingdom. But their thing is no mourners, no funerals. I don't know if it's showing up correctly, but there's the crow. And I got myself a little Mandalorian pop socket because, you know, I love Mando and Baby Yoda. And then I got a pop socket too for my Nook book. See, it's Mando and he's holding Baby Yoda. Isn't that the most precious thing in the world? The most precious thing in the world. So, yep, I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Y'all are gonna think I'm freaking nuts. So I went nuts with Six of Crows. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Let me see, put this back. Because I showed you guys, I bought the collector's edition. And I was like, I bought the collector's edition because I just knew I was going to love the book or the books. And I was like, well, I don't want to. See, isn't that beautiful? It's reflective. See? And then it's got painted edges. But I didn't want to write in this one or tabulate it or annotate it because I was like, this is the collector's edition. It has to stay pristine. So, and then I got the Crooked Kingdom book, which is the one that follows Six of Crows. See, it says collector's edition, but it's so pretty. And this one's got black sprayed edges, but I didn't want to ruin these. So I bought the paperback set so I can like mark it up and annotate it and everything. Let me see. So I got the box set too. See the Six of Crows duology. Look at that. This is all annotated. I annotated the crap out of this book. Highlighted, annotated, wrote all sorts of stuff. Let me see. Where's a funny one? Let's see. See, like I wrote like laughing my ass off. See, like this, I thought this was funny. Fine, but if Pekka Rollins kills us all, I'm going to get Wyland's ghost to teach my ghost how to play the flute so I can annoy the hell out of your ghost. And then Brecker says to him, I'll just hire Mateus's ghost to kick your ghost's ass. And then Mateus replied, my ghost won't associate with your ghost. So it's like stuff like that. Like I just, you know, and I've noticed too, when I annotate my books, I tend to retain the stories a lot better, which I keep notes on my, see, like, look, Van Eck is an asshole. Like I write stuff like that. And I was like, I am not putting that on these beautiful, beautiful books. So now I have to read Crooked Kingdom, which I haven't gotten to this one yet. That's the second one. And then the duology is over. But this book, I was so pleasantly surprised because I don't read fantasy and I do not read young adult. And this is young adult fantasy, and I absolutely loved it. Loved it. The author is Leigh Bardugo. Leigh Bardugo. So totally fell in love. So I'm reading one book right now. I'm almost done with it. I'm like 50% done. But I want to get a bookshelf to put in the corner. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, that was, so I went on this total like Six of Crows crazy thing where, you know, and you guys know I love my crows anyways, myth and fable. So, oh, speaking of crows, I was telling Johnny about a book that I just got. Well, I got it a few weeks ago. me see if I can find it. I got it a few weeks ago on Kindle. And Six of Crows is not about crows. It's about it's a gang of these kids that are just it's so good. It's so good. Criminal masterminds. It's a heist. It's a magical heist. That's what that book is about. But let me see. Hold on. Where's that book? Now that we're speaking of crows. Hollow Kingdom and Feral Creatures. Hollow Kingdom, written by Kira Jane Buxton, is the first book. And then it's followed by Feral Creatures. That's the second book. And it sounds hilarious. So it's about this crow, a domesticated pet crow, whose name is ST, which is short for shit turd. Okay. And I guess there's like this huge virus going around and humans are dying and his owner's eyeball falls out. So it's up to shit turd and other animals to save humans. And it sounds hilarious. So, you know, it's a book written from a crow's perspective, an actual crow, like a bird. So I'm excited to get to that one eventually. But yeah, the reading has been coming along. And that's where I've been since I've been on my hiatus, just reading like a nerd. So that's all I got. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear any more about my stupid books, but thank you so much, you guys. It's been loads of fun. I will try to get to I Eat Pace's Grand Tableau to see. And I'm going to give that other stuff more thought because it's like those sequence of cards that are the same across all three, that has to mean something. You know, I've shuffled the crap out of the cards, and the chances of that same stuff coming up in all three is too much. And like I said, they all had Tower Coffin. They all had Cross Coffin. The only thing that Trump and Ivanka had that Junior didn't have was Crossroads on Coffin. So I'm just curious as to why. So I'm going to have to look at that even more. But thank you guys so much. And I will see you all on my next one. You guys have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.